We're back. It's been a while, but JOJOLands Explanation with terrible drawings. And this is the Howler Infiltration Arc, part 1. Because this one's a long one. Like, out of the now 30 JOJOLands chapters, like 10 of them, if not more, have been just this arc. And it's been peak. I can't wait the next month, the chapter, man. I need it to come out now. So where we left off last time was, I'm pretty sure at the end of like the Bag Groove arc, was Lulu being now in the basement of the fashion boutique that I forget the boss lady's name. You guys can remember later, I'm sure. In the basement of her boutique, along with the bank guy that Paco is now, not Paco, Charming Man is now taking the place of, who is right next to Paco in the hospital. You guys should remember, like the lava rock, they touched it to the Howler landed, so now it's coming to them. Well, using a stand, Big Mouth strikes again, which they explained how it works in Chapter 30, so I'll just tell you now. It takes the lowest layer of his skin, which just not due to his stand, but just due to the trait of the people that he is a part of, like his race or whatever, which might be connected to rock humans. They might be like a variant of rock humans. I'm very confident about that theory, because their skin is like sandy and like has the same texture as sand. He can force the lowest layer of his skin upwards into little hard fragments of rock and rearrange how he looks, blend in perfectly with anything, and can also use those hard fragments of sandy, rocky skin as offense weapons. And he uses that stand, Big Mouth strikes again, to take the appearance of the bank dude, and with Dragona posing as a bank employee and Jojo tagging along, because why not? They go to Howler's yacht. And yeah, he has a yacht. He has like 2 of them. He has $50 billion worth of assets. And they are going to try and claim it all. And Howler and his goons, and not those type of goons. We have Lame Shang Bang, whose stand is Lying Eyes, which controls nematodes. If you don't know what a nematode is, it's like a worm thing, and for some reason that stand can allow nematodes to like see anybody who's lying or who's feeling fear rather, and point them out on her glasses like a map. That's her stand. It's not offensive, but she has a gun because she is a cop, so she shoots people. Her girlfriend, Key West, has the stand West End Girl. I will get into that in the next JOJOLands explanation video, because I'm splitting this up arc, which still isn't even finished, into 2 videos. It's that long. And then there's Ningbo, who is a firefighter, and his stand 200 balloons can, like, create air bubbles and send them along something, and then explode them later on. We'll get into that later. And anyways, so on a boat, Charming Man disguised as a bank man. I forget his name. I'll just call him Kenny. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And Dragona and Jojo go to the Howler yacht to have negotiations with Howler to try and get all of his land. Howler, with Key West, and only Key West, and we'll get into that in a second, refuses to accept their offer of handing over the land, the northern slope of Oahu, where his family's historic land and property has been. And he keeps refusing that offer. Rather, the bank keeps refusing that offer. Because, the gang, Howler offers, like, millions of dollars worth of money in suitcases for the gang to take for themselves, because obviously he does not know that they are not actual bank employees. If they will only just let him keep the land on Oahu, but they press a hard bargain, because that's, like, the main thing that they want from Howler. And that goes on for quite a while. The interrogation and negotiating themes are quite interesting. But Pocky and Usagi are waiting on the shore by the boat in case anything goes wrong. But Lame Shebang and Paco show up to the school where they go and where the boss lady works at as the principal. And they attack her and kidnap her and force her to go to her thing, like her beauty salon or fashion store or whatever it is. Her boutique, yeah. Because Lulu, the little girl from the previous arc, who they are keeping in their basement there, along with the bank guy, who's in a coma, somehow managed to, like, get it out that she was being kept there to help her. And they show up, attack her, but, like, under the guise of, like, a school, like, report email, she manages to get the word out in code that she needs help. So Paco and Usagi the goat go to help her. We get a bit of Paco's backstory about how he had, like, a deadbeat drunk dad, but he still loves his dad, even though he beat him, was abusive and a drunk. His dad loved him, and Paco loves his dad. Like, I love JoJo backstories like that, man. They don't have to be long, like many chapters long, like One Piece or Demon Slayer backstories. They can be, like, short and sweet, but still hit just as hard and tell you the minimal amount of information about a character, which makes them all the more interesting and better. Anyways, due to the sheer amount of money that's around it, with millions of dollars in each suitcase, the lava rock starts breaking apart. But with a quick thinking, Dragona uses smooth operators to slide around the digits on the dollar bills in the suitcases, therefore making them fakes or forgeries, therefore negating all of their value. Anyways, this has already been like 4 chapters or 5 chapters already. This is a long arc, but it's super good. Anyway, so eventually, like, the boss lady and Paco and Lame Chindang just show up there at the boutique, and they're, like, pressuring her to give them Lulu and, like, all the info on what they're planning. And then, like, the boss lady reveals to them that Howler has $50 billion worth of in assets. And then Lame Shebang sends a text to Key West and starts plotting to take those $50 billion for themselves so that she and Key West, her girlfriend, can buy their house of their dreams. Usagi also has, like, a good emotional moment and character development. Not that he needs it. He's already the best character pretty much ever. God, I love Usagi so much. Where, like, he never really had any friends, but, like, the boss lady is the first one who ever, like, really cared about him or tried to help him, so he would really do anything to save her and repay that debt. But also, okay, actually, wait, no, never mind. That's for the, you know what, I'll say it here. Lulu-chan might be Howler's daughter. I'll explain more later. Anyways, thanks to a backup plan they had or something, when negotiations start to break down, because of, like, the Howler now being in an extreme amount of debt because of the lava rock already doing its work, the freaking FBI might now be coming to steal all of his assets, take a hold of them, and a fire is started on the boat, presumably by the power of the lava rock, manipulating money and getting it to the people who wield the lava rock. It's just a small fire, not really enough to, like, destroy the boat, but just enough to attract the attention of the police and give them a justifiable reason as to why they could come to Howler's yacht and seize it, even if just for a little while. And this is, like, now halfway or a bit over halfway through the arc. I'll just end it with, like, Paco and Usagi finally showing up to the boutique, and like, the real action of this arc starts to get going. Not that it wasn't good before, it was already peak before. Anyways, next up, it's the Paco versus Ningbo arc. See y'all.